So on New Year's Day, I head out from this very building, National Geographic headquarters. It was symbolic. I wanted to show that I was just like these explorers who left, who were sent out by the Geographic to go explore the world. And I was going to start from this very point on Earth, and I was going to go to the bottom of the world. And I just got to the bus station on the S2 bus, which runs just outside 16th Street. And I paid my fare, which was $1.35, and I got on the bus and took off. And here I am sending my first tweet, a real-time narrative. Now, this was an experiment for me because all of the original explorers would go and they would keep a journal and they would write about their trip, and then they would come home and actually write a book and publish. And this was a past tense kind of memoir about their journey. Well, I wanted to do the same thing, but I wanted to do it in real time. I just wanted to write the story as it was happening. And I learned something because I sent over 5,000 tweets when I traveled from Washington, D.C. to Antarctica. And I learned that there was a more effective way to write on Twitter and a less effective. And for those who don't know, Twitter, it's a way to share by text message. You're limited to 140 characters, so you have to keep it really short. But you can say so much if you do it right. Now, I didn't start out as a pro. I'm still not a pro, but I'm learning. And I learned a lot from poets. This is one of my favorite poems by Jack Kerouac. It's from his American Haiku, written in 1959. Nightfall, boy smashing dandelions with a stick. Now this follows an ancient Japanese form of poetry, but it's very short and it has all the great ingredients of a tweet, of storytelling. He has set the stage. He's given you time, he's given you place, he's given you color, he's given you a character, and he's given you action. And you need all of these things when you're writing Twitter. I've tweeted from hot air balloons, I've tweeted from birch bark canoes, I've tweeted above Niagara Falls in a helicopter, I've tweeted from camelbacks, and I've tweeted not underwater, that doesn't work yet, but almost. I tweeted in real time while flying a plane in French. Now, I just want to leave with a couple of little tips for all of you digital nomads out there, things that I've learned that have helped me. One, besides being there, which is very important, always be there, never let the experience of, never let sharing the experience eclipse having the experience. And that's very possible. You can walk into any coffee shop here and you're going to see a million people with their phones looking down like this. And it's very hard to experience the world around you when you're doing this. This is in Botswana, in the Okavango Delta, beautiful place, surrounded by wildlife. And I was with two journalists from New York, and we're out there surrounded by lions and everything else. And all they cared about was that there was no reception on their phone. And there was one spot by the river near the Namibian border where there was a wildebeest carcass. And they always wanted to drive by the carcass because the carcass, for whatever reason, had coverage. So they could always download their email and their tweets whenever we got by the carcass. So they were always like, let's go to the carcass, let's go to the carcass. And they were so obsessed with that, they missed out everything else that we were around. And if you're so obsessed with kind of sharing the experience, you miss the things that are around you. There's one fourth tip that I have, and I'll close with this. And that is you have to unplug periodically. And if you don't, you just become crazed because the human mind works very different than our digital technology. Our minds are fascinating. We have subconsciouses that are always working. We take much better pictures than cameras do. We feel a place. We have these emotions. But if we don't shut off, we're not able to process that and share it. So I'll just leave with that. You should unplug. You will sleep much better if you do. And I want to thank all of you for coming tonight and listening to my stories. Really grateful.